Hello, my name is Jasmine Elizondo, and this is my education philosophy. I'm going to begin by saying what is the purpose of education. My philosophy education is that every student should have the right to obtain a quality education with a teacher who is willing to work hard to achieve these goals for their students. I want to be able to provide a wide range of opportunities for all students, and providing an education can give students the chance to apply themselves to achieve anything they set their mind to, along with their will and determination. I want to be able to help students understand their world and the way of life, and of course, my main goal is to inspire them to become lifelong learners. What is the role of the teacher? In each role, the student and the teacher have their own set of responsibilities and expectations. I believe that a teacher should act as observers and assess as their students interact with each other and explore physical, mental, moral, and social growth. The role of the teacher is to be able to guide their students successfully into obtaining the ability to think critically and navigate their own learning. I also believe it is important for the teacher to assess their students' individual needs. Each student is going to have a different learning style. Knowing what methods your students absorb knowledge effectively is crucial. Not only should the teacher act as a facilitator, but I believe it is critical for the teacher to be enthusiastic and motivational with their students, giving the students the sense that the classroom is open for exploration without any judgments. I also think it is important for the teacher to act as a guide, mentor, and a role model for their students. How should the teacher teach? As I mentioned before, I believe that students should be able to interact with each other and for the teacher to play the role as a facilitator. I would want my students to work with hands-on projects, for example, in the picture to the left, to picture students in stations. I think allowing the students to work in stations, each station can focus on a different element or area of a given subject, and it can encourage the student in collaborating with other students, giving them control of their own educational experience. The teacher should be supportive of the many ways in which his or her students may learn. The teacher must teach according to the many learning styles that his individual group of students have. It is important for the teacher to incorporate each of these learning styles into their teaching so that each of the students can learn what is being taught. What is the role of the student? Like I mentioned before, each role has their own set of responsibilities and expectations. The responsibilities that I believe the student have is to be willing to learn and interact with their students, be active learners and listeners, and hopefully by the end of their student career, they should be able to think critically and find solutions to their own problems. In life, there are going to be many obstacles they are going to need to overcome, and with critical thinking, they would be able to do so by applying what they have learned. What should be taught? The curriculum in my classroom will not be the same every year. I believe the students should be based on their individual needs. Each student has a different level of learning, and I will try my best to accommodate those differences. My lesson plans will also be taught in a manner that will be attractive to my students. I think it's important to teach in an environment where the students can have fun as they're learning. As an educator, I believe it is essential to give your students the freedom to experiment with expression and creativity, but also keep in mind the state's requirements for the students to graduate to the next year. Which interview resonated with you the most, and why? I chose Mr. Eduardo Vela. In the picture is Mr. Vela with his wife, Mrs. Vela. Mr. Vela is a second grade teacher in La Joya, Texas. He has been a teacher for many years now. I believe I connected the most with Mr. Vela because some of his education philosophy answers were closely related to mine. He enjoys teaching, and he thinks it's important to keep students engaged and actively learning. Mr. Vela and I both agree that the purpose of education is to prepare students for life, but one note that I believe is also important that Mr. Vela mentioned was that education is also to prepare students to become lifelong learners. Even as adults, or those who choose the path of teaching, learning new things will be a constant variable in our lives. I believe that teachers should play the role of facilitators and navigate their students' learning, where Mr. Vela believes that teachers also play the role of being a role model, a mentor, and being able to make a difference in their students' life. Mr. Vela and I share the same beliefs when it comes to what the students' roles are and what should be taught in the classroom. Which school resonated with your philosophy and why? I chose Castro Elementary School. And next to the picture, you'll find Castro Elementary School's mission statement. I selected this school because compared to the other two schools I reviewed, E.B. Lane Elementary School and Pearson Elementary, I connected with this one the most based on their mission statement. I would love to work in an environment where they encourage their students for success and help them achieve their goals by giving them the appropriate instruction that is based on their needs and learning styles. I want the school I work at to be a community where the main goal is to support our students into academic achievement. I also loved that this school values a strong relationship with the students' parents and the staff. I believe having parents involved with their children's education can help students engage in learning. I would like to conclude my presentation with these two quotes. The first one being, teachers have three loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first two loves together. The second quote being, no one should teach who is not in love with teaching. I am not a teacher yet, but I believe that teaching is not an easy job. Teachers should be able to adapt, adjust, and overcome in certain situations. It is also an ongoing learning experience. I believe there will be times in my teaching career where I might change my teaching styles. Teachers are also constantly learning, and it is important for me to be receptive to suggestions and open for improvement. Of course, I believe the main goal is to make a difference in each student's life. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.